Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Clover Health, ticker symbol CLOV. And so here I'm going to go over the chart on Friday, July 12th during market hours, just before power hour starts. And the reason why I wanted to be going over this is because it is another one that was requested by Mac Attack. And so he, like I said before, is really good at calling stocks before big runs. And so with Clover Health at a price of $1.54 during market hours, being up about 5.5% so far on the day, do I think this is going to continue to run? And I have to say, before recording this video, I was looking at the chart and I was actually a little bit concerned because, we have this low here that was hit in April, 60 cents, and we're now trading almost $1 above that. So I do think that there is a lot of downside risks for this one because, we're much higher, more than twice the price that we saw back in April. But, I think that this is very similar to the charge point video that I went over previously, going over call options and max pains, stuff like that. I think that charge point is going to continue to run, and I suspect that Clover Health will as well for similar reasons. So I wanted to get into that, but I also wanted to go over some levels to the downside in case we do pull back. Where might the price be coming to that would be a good dip buying opportunity before the next leg up? And so before I, get into those levels, one thing that I did want to point out that I had drawn in a previous video, but it was a little bit rough, this neckline here, this purple line that I've drawn here, you see this inverse left shoulder here, inverse head coming up here, and then inverse right shoulder there. And so from that inverse head and shoulders, we can take a measurement from the base of the head, or really the top of the inverted head, to the neckline to get an idea where price could be going. And so I have done that. That is this purple vertical line here, and that would suggest that price would be going up to around $1.65. So about 10 cents, 12 cents higher than current price. So I definitely think there is some upside there, but I do think that we could be bumping into resistance when we get to that level, because that does mark the prior high that was hit on August 9th of 2023, hit a high of $1.63, so might be bumping into some resistance there. And with that being said, we might be pulling back a little bit, so I do think there could be some nice dip buying opportunities. So, at this point, maybe good to wait and see what happens. Don't chase, but maybe nice to pick up a little bit in case it does run a lot, but then plan for it if it does dip to pick up more shares. And so for me personally, I don't have a position in Clover Health. I do find the chart pretty intriguing, but I don't plan on establishing a position either. I just think that the chart looks really cool. And so from that high that I pointed out on August 9th, I've done a Fibonacci retracement going down to this low of 60.6 cents that was hit on, it looks like April 22nd. I've done that Fibonacci retracement so we can see some levels that might be acting as resistance. Since we haven't necessarily put in a top yet, I didn't want to do a retracement from the bottom to the top, assuming that it's in. I'm still working with this retracement since we do have a bottom clearly in down there. And so one of those levels is the 786 at a price of around $1.41. Price could definitely be pulling back to that level, maybe getting a wick back to it, and finding support there, as we did get some resistance, double top there effectively on the way down that could be acting as support now on the way up. And then also I do have the golden pocket highlighted here. That's at a price range from around $1.24 up to around $1.27. As far as the chart price action goes, I don't necessarily see anything that really stands out there as being potential support, but maybe price does pull back to that golden pocket because price does tend to do that. Although I should note that this is the golden pocket retracement from the way down. We've already retraced up to that, so I don't know how significant it would be on a pullback. But then some other levels that I do have highlighted, one being the 50% retracement at a price of right around $1.12, does correspond pretty nicely with this yellow line that I had previously drawn up here at $1.10. That was, it looks like, the high hit on May 18th of last year, a high of $1.10. So could be pulling back to that. And, while it would have to be, by mid-August of this year, that could also coincide with a test of this uptrend that I've drawn here based on these two pivot lows. Did act as support here before we broke lower. Maybe we do get a pullback, and that would be a really nice place to be adding a lot more. But then I also do have a 382, and that is right around $1 a share. I don't necessarily think price is coming down to that level, but I did want to have it highlighted because $1 a share is an important level for stocks to be holding above. And I think if we look over at the Max Pain in just a second, that will stand out as well. So I do find that pretty interesting. Also did act as, resistance over here, consolidating below that level. And so if we do pull back, I think that that could then be acting as support. But, speaking of Max Pain that I had just mentioned, thinking about options, and actually, before I do get into that, I meant to delete this, but I do have this orange line here at 90 cents a share. I don't think price is coming down there. I don't think it's coming down to $1 a share because, if we look over at Max Pain, we can see that Clover Health has a Max Pain for today, July 12th, of $1 a share. And, if we look at the current price, it's well above $1 a share. I was actually expecting Max Pain to be $1.50, thinking that it'd be risky if we didn't close above that level, if we pull back to $1.49 or something at the close. That doesn't really matter because Max Pain is $1. We're well above that. So I do think, just like with ChargePoint, this could be set up to gamma squeeze or gamma ramp up, pushing these Max Pains higher. Because if I do flip over to next week's Max Pain, which is for the monthly contracts of July, we can see that it is also $1 a share for July 19th. So I think that price is set up to continue to be going a lot higher. And since I did go over Max Pain, I also wanted to look over at the options table. We can see that $1 a share for this coming Friday, today, July 12th, calls $1 strike. Only about 552 open contracts at that price. So it's kind of surprising that Max Pain is $1. I would expect it to be $1.50 because there's over 5,000 contracts still open, at least as of the close of yesterday with that strike, $1.50. So, if price is closing above $1.50 today, I think that it's set up to continue running. We do have, over 800 contracts that will likely be expiring out of the money today. But, with the big moves that we've seen up over almost 5%, right now on the day, maybe some of those contracts were closed in profit just for capitalizing on that premium. But then if I do look over at the July 19th strikes, we can see that $1, which is the Max Pain, over 1,000 open contracts at that price. So while that's not a lot relative to, some of the other options that I've gone over, that is a lot for Clover Health. And then looking at $1.50, over 6,000 contracts, almost 7,000 contracts with a strike of $1.50. So if price is able to hold at these current levels and go even higher, maybe getting up to $2 a share, there's almost 2,000 contracts at the $2 strike for next week. I think that we could definitely be seeing this going higher. And so though, if before next Friday we do see some resistance around $1.65 or $1.63, maybe that's just the formation of a bull flag before it really starts to take off. So, I think that could be a really nice opportunity to add more. If we do see some resistance there, that could be just an opportunity before, the next takeoff to the next level up. And where could I see it going? I didn't really think about that before making this video, but I do see these bottoms over here, right around $2 a share also does make sense. So I could see some resistance right around $2 a share. And so with that being said, that's about a 33% increase from the current price. So I think it's looking pretty good, but those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.